Over the next couple of minutes, we're going to take a look at how we import files using FileCopy where the file name changes from week to week. So for an example, we could be wanting to download a syndicated show, and when we download that syndicated show, it resides within a folder where the folder name changes from week to week, or even the file names change from week to week. Thankfully, with FileCopy, we can fix this, and I'm going to show you how we do that right now. So the first thing we're going to do, as always with an FTP file, is we're going to open it in FileZilla and see how it looks. So I've loaded mine up here, and as you can see, Dave's Top 40 is the syndicated show. There are 3 parts in each hour, over 2 hours. But the problem we have is there is a date in the file name and a date in the folder. And whilst we could modify our FileCopy job each week to download the files, there's a far easier solution. So let's go ahead and let's create the FileCopy job to, first of all, download the files as they are. So we're going to name this Dave's Top 40. And then we're going to go to our source tab here. And we're going to, as per usual, select FTP. And then we're going to enter in our credentials as we normally would. So I'm just going to go and fill these in now. And as we always do with FTP downloads, I'm now going to go and copy from FileZilla the folder structure and pop it into the folder box here. Now, once that's done, I'm going to check multiple files, and then I'm going to click the Select Files box, and the familiar multiple files grid appears. And as we've done in previous videos, we're now going to go and select all the files we want to download, and we're going to choose to rename them to the correct cart number that they should be in playout 1. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for all 6 parts now. Now, once we've done this, I'm now going to go and click Save to save this grid. I'm going to go over to my Destination tab, and I'm going to choose where this needs to download the files to, and it's going to be Auto Importer. And it's going to be my new show import folder. Finally, we're going to set the schedule. I'm going to download this on a Friday at 11 a.m. because the show goes out on a Saturday. So downloading it a day before, making sure everything is okay before I leave for the weekend is a good idea. So there's our job. It's set to run next Friday because it's now 2 in the afternoon on Friday. So we've missed the scheduled slot. So I'm going to run it manually, and it's going to download all of our segments. And to verify that it's done all of that, we're going to click through these boxes, go to Auto Importer, and verify it works. Once we're happy all the pieces have downloaded, we've now completed stage 1. We've verified we can download the files, everything works, and now it's all about going back into the job and modifying so that this runs every single week without any interaction from ourselves. The beauty of this is we can set it, forget it, and never have to worry about it again. So what we're going to do, let's go and see how the folder structure and file names look in FileZilla, just to remind us. And we can see here that they're split into folders. Each show for each week is split into a folder, and it's got a date on it. And also the files themselves have dates on the front. So that's the bit that's going to change each week, and that's the bit we need to address. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Source tab, and we're going to find the date for the folder, and we're going to wrap a pair of curly brackets around the date. And the reason we do that is because that's the bit we want to change each week. So we're telling the system, please swap anything in the curly brackets with a format that we specify. And the way that we can tell the system what the format is if we go to support.air.com, search for placeholders, you'll find a date format. And from here, we can derive what the format should be. So looking at the placeholders format on the support website, I can tell you that the date format when it's like this is going to look a little bit like this. We're going to scrub out the year. We're going to put 4 Ys, and then for the month, we're going to put 2 capital M's. And then for the date, or should I say the day, we're going to put 2 lower Ds. Now, don't worry if this is all a little bit confusing. That's why we're here to help. If you have a FileCopy job you need help with, you can email us anytime, support@air.com. So we've figured out that's the date that changes each week, but what are we going to change this date to? Well, for that, we need to do a bit more investigation. So we're going to go to the FileZilla, have a look at the two folders. Now, the two show folders, usually these are going to be a date of a certain day each week. And I just happen to know that that is the Saturday date every single week. So the show for this week, we're on the 12th of May. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's the 13th of May. So that's why you can see the 13th. And then next Saturday is going to be the 20th because that's plus 7 days. So that's one thing to note here. We do need some consistency and all syndicators should know that. So the date that is on these folders is always a Saturday date. So we can now go back to our FileCopy job and we can tell FileCopy to add 1 day onto the date. Now, why are we adding 1 day to the date? Well, we want a Saturday date. We're downloading on a Friday. So to get from Friday to Saturday, it's 1 day. So that's why we're adding 1 day to the date. If we left that at 0, it's going to put in today's date, the date that the job runs. And because the job runs on a Friday, we don't want Friday's date. We want Saturday's date. So that's why we tell FileCopy to add 1 day. Now we've done the folder, but also the file name changes as well. So we're going to go and replicate that step, and it's dead easy because it's the same format for this particular show anyway, but you will want to check with your syndicator before you do this and just copy and paste. Make sure you check that it is the same. So we're going to do the format, the curly brackets, the 4 Ys, the uppercase M's, the lowercase D's, and then we're going to say date add 1 day. And we're literally going to go through each one of these and replicate. So curly brackets, 4 lowercase y's, dash 2 uppercase m's, dash 2 lowercase d's, close curly brackets, and then we're going to change the date add from 0 to 1. Now that's done, I can save the grid, I can save the job, and I can run it. And if everything is successful, we should get a complete set of downloaded segments passed over to Auto Importer. Now, it's worth noting here, I can run this job manually because it is Friday. If I was to run this job manually on a Thursday, because we've said add 1 day to the date, it's going to give me Friday's date in the file names and folder. That would fail the download because we're looking for Saturday's date. So when you are running manual jobs where date adds have been added, please make sure you run them on the same day that they are scheduled to be downloaded on. So that's how we deal with files where the date changes each week. This process can be extended to normal file jobs, folder jobs, internet download jobs, not just FTP. The curly brackets, the date add, you'll find throughout the FileCopy program to assist you with all sorts of different downloads and all sorts of different copies. Now, we're not expecting you to get this straight away. It does take a bit of trial and error. However, if you are in need of some assistance, we're always here to help. Support@air.com is where you'll find us.